Hi folks, it's been a while since I've recorded a video. I'm really sloppy with doing these, but I've got a good excuse. I got married, had time off, kind of took a bit of time out of everything, got a few dozen more tattoos, and quite a few more books. So I just wanted to run through what I've received in the last week or so, as well as what I've finished and what I'm reading now. So top of the pile here is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. It's the sequel to Scythe and the middle book in the trilogy. Read this with a book club recently. I read the first book earlier in the year, had every intention of just ploughing straight through all three of them, but then the book club started reading Scythe, and I thought, well, I've now got to kind of pause, let them catch up. So we read Thunderhead in early August, late July. We've got the Toll. I've got the Toll, at least, just on my bookshelf just up here, ready, that I want to read, but I have a feeling we're going to probably read it in September, October time. So really enjoyed it. Loved Scythe, loved Thunderhead. Can't wait to read the Toll. It's probably one of the best series I've started reading in a while, so quite happy with that. Then we get on to, well, I guess I should probably talk about the other books I've read before we get into the post. So I read Shadow of a Dark Queen by Raymond Feist. That is with the oft-mentioned readathon on the Midkemia Discord channel. Shadow of a Dark Queen's the first book in the Serpent War saga, and it follows a completely different set of characters to the original saga. Although it's in the same universe, same world, some of those characters still exist, but we're now like 60 years in the future from that first trilogy. It might be my favourite trilogy in the whole cycle. The second book in this saga is definitely my favourite in the entire cycle, the Rise of a Merchant Prince. But the characters of Eric and Rue are interesting. They're different from what you experience in the first book, because everything you experience in the first set of books is very much nobility based, whereas Eric and Rue start out at least as kind of just roguish youths. One's a tanky, beefy blacksmith dude, and the other kind of rat-faced thief / gambler. But it's different. It's probably, as mentioned, one of my favourite sagas in the cycle. But yeah, that's what I've been reading. Still plugging away with the Hunger Games prequel. It's down there somewhere. I'm not really feeling it, to be honest, but I'm going to keep going. But yeah, post. That's mail. So haul. That's a thing. So the first thing I received was Petals to the Metal, the third Adventure Zone graphic novel. I love these. I listened to the Adventure Zone, the original Balance arc, probably 3 or 4 times over the last 3 years. I even got myself a Bureau of Balance tattoo, which looks really at an odd angle, but when the hand's straight, it's fine. I just love the artwork in these, and the story is fantastic. I mean, it's got very well drawn art. I don't know how clear that is there, but it's just fantastic art from Carey Peach, and a great kind of translation from podcast to a visual media. And the fourth one, again, the next one is my favourite one, The Crystal Kingdom. So I'm not sure that has a release date, but I think they're coming out kind of once every 10 months at the moment, so I will definitely be keeping an eye out for that. Let's just see. Nah, there's nothing there, so it'll be on its way at some point. I have faith in the McElroys. The other bit of mail I received was Vicious Spirits by Kat Cho. I kind of forgot this was coming out. I found out about it. I knew about it a while back, then forgot, and then saw a post from Kat Cho about how it was doing really well pre-order, and I was like, oh, this comes out tomorrow. Order. I really enjoyed Wicked Fox, the first book. It's quite similar to Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, in that it follows kind of a half fox spirit, half human character, except this is more Korean folklore than Japanese. Capcho, it has a really, I don't want to say a young writing style, it's very easy to read and very easy to get lost in. Accessible, that's probably a better word for it. I'm really looking forward to reading Vicious Spirits. It follows a couple of the characters that were in Wicked Fox, but not the two main characters from Wicked Fox. Then the big thing is this Victoria Schwab Illumicrate Editions box, which I've opened once to just check that everything was in it, but I've not properly looked through the various bits and pieces. So let's open this up. So the first thing packed in here is now this is all Shades of Magic, all Shades of Magic related, which I've mentioned a few times. I read earlier in the year and really loved. For some reason I'm dropping frames like crazy in this recording, so hopefully the camera catches up. So what we have in here is a blanket of the Four Londons by Yoshi Yoshitani. I haven't opened. My wife loves blankets, but we're kind of at the end of summer, start of autumn, so maybe in a few months, maybe not just yet. Let's yeet that over there. What else do we have in here? We have a hardback copy of Dark Shade of Magic, the first book in the series, which has some lovely artwork on the inner cover, and I believe this is signed. I'm not certain. Maybe not. Oh yeah, autographed and with sprayed edges. It's a fantastic copy. I've probably got 4 copies of this book over the last year. What else do we have? We have a book sleeve, which I'd never really bothered with before, but I'll probably, let's put it that way up, I'll probably use this for that hardback copy. Who is that by? That is by the artwork by Leia Lopez and the quote designed by Chatty Nora. That's a Handful of Stars book sleeve. Now moving on, we have a pin badge. There are many shadows in the night. A nice, wow, that's a glare, isn't it? Let's try and get the best lighting on this. Pin badge, Lila Bard pin badge by Fable and Black. I'm a big pin badge fan. I even have pin badges just on my desk in front of me. I wore this rainbow badge on my wedding day. We then have a microfiber cleaning cloth, which I will definitely need, by Victoria Ying. There's 3 things left in this box. We have some small figurines or figures. So these are characters and creator acrylic figures by Monoline. There's half a dozen of these small plastic bases with inserts, or cutaways rather, and then you have all of these wonderful figures of all the characters, so all again with the glare and the backwards. Lila Bard, Kelmaresh, Rymaresh, and a couple others, and one of Victoria Schwab herself with cat ears, because you will often find her with cat ears. Right, we're getting down to the main part of this box and hoping that it will balance nicely here, because it's getting quite close to falling. So what we have here, now I've not looked at these properly, are sleeves. So these sleeves are for each of the three books in the series. There's one for each. They are really quite fantastic. I'm not going to unroll each of them because I think I might struggle to get them back. Oh, I'll do it. So each of them has some lovely artwork on them, and they will definitely be getting put on my hardback copies of the books. So we've got one thing left, assuming I can get this back in the tube. Apologies for the rolling noise of this. But hey, what are you going to do? They're just about back in there. I'll put them in properly later. And the last thing here is a hanging poster for the Eshantash, the magic tournament festival that is the main focus of the second book in the series, and where Lila Bard really comes into her own as a character. I mean, she's a very good character from the get-go, but in the second book, kind of, it focuses a bit more on her and her story, and gonna have to find somewhere to put this. Maybe replacing one of these areas behind me, hang this from the front, because that is fantastic. And the art for that is by someone, Sylvia By, or B, from Roatree. So it's been quite a successful month of book haul, and less so on the reading front. I'm definitely going to get cracking with the reading again. I think I've got to read 13 more books for the year to hit my target, my lowly target of 37. But I can do it. I started rereading the Throne of Glass, the first Throne of Glass book. It's the only book I've read in that series, but my wife loves it. I have read the first A Court of Thorn and Roses book. Didn't enjoy it. Not for me. Bit too romance heavy and too... I'm not the biggest fan of first person books, but Throne of Glass being in that third person and having romance but not being necessarily focused on that romance is something I'm enjoying more the second time round. I'm about a third of the way through it, so still a ways to go, but I've only been reading it for 3 days, so bank holiday weekend. Let's see how much we get through. Anyway, that'll do it for now. Hopefully the video didn't get too destabilized in the middle. I probably couldn't handle all my wacky moving around and my nice Twice t-shirt. Anyway, I think I'm going to go and read some more Throne of Glass before I hit the hay. So that'll do it from me. Black Lives Matter.